Hello, good morning. My name is Bridget Otu. I know, this is not the face that you were expecting. Well, the cutie Nana Banama is not available. She's writing a very, very hot exam, so you might as well start praying for her. But of course, the show has to continue. Today, we're talking all things football. Case in point, Accra House of Oak. I know, you've heard a story. I've got a gentleman who is a big, big fan. In fact, I dare say that he's the face of Accra House of Oak. And then later we'll get into refereeing and look at the Arsenal and Manchester United game. And so I've got three fantastic guests. Let me start with an actress. I love her movies. More than anything, I love her body. She's super. She's got presence. You see, when this lady steps into a room, everybody turns and stares. Hello, Karima Agia. Did I guess right?
You did.
Agia.
Yeah.
Karima, nice to have you on the Diva show.
Yeah, good to be here.
How are you doing this morning?
Good, how are you?
Good. And there's a lady who has a heart for sports. She's passionate about sports. And anytime we call on her, she responds. Even at late hour, she always responds. Rashida Kadiri.
Hi, Bridget.
Good morning, Rashida.
Good morning.
I know you're particularly excited about House of Oak. Phobia.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just excited about my job, about the fact that I talk football, but not necessarily because of Heart of Oak.
Oh, good to know. And Aziz. Oh, God, I said I wasn't going to forget the last name, but Aziz, I forgot it. It's Futa?
Yeah, it's Futa.
I got it all right. Aziz, good morning. Nice to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure.
All right, so you can also join the discussion in the studio by going on Facebook, The Diva Show on TV3, and post your comments there. Do you think that, taking away CK couldn't necessarily resolve Heart's problems? And a lot of names have come up as to who is going to replace him. Right now, the assistant coach is a standing coach for Accra House of Oak. So we'll be going into that discussion. So let me start with you. You have been against CK Akona right from the start. Do you hate him?
You get it wrong.
So tell me, what is the truth?
You get it wrong. I'm a fan of Accra House of Oak.
Uh-huh.
I lead the supporters of Accra House of Oak. I represent them on the former management. You see, House of Oak is a big club, has a lot of history, has a lot of followers, about 5 million followers around Ghana. We have won the Champions League before. We have won the Super Cup before. We even won the Champions League before Chelsea.
Yes, I know all that. But what is your issue? What was your issue with the coach?
Our issue with the coach is we believe Siki Akono is a very young coach, up-and-coming coach. He has
young doesn't necessarily mean incompetence.
Yeah, I'm not talking about incompetence.
So when you say young, what do you mean?
What I mean is he has future. But House of Oak,
future is not with House of Oak.
I'm telling you honestly.
Why is that?
Because he loses it. It's not about losing 3 matches on the row. Nothing has happened in the House of Oak before. But losing it at the dressing room, losing it at the training ground.
When you say he loses it, to borrow your own words, when you say behind, we don't see these things. What we see is what's on the pitch. What's going on behind the scenes? Well, in the dressing room, what does he? Yeah. Does he scream, yell? Yeah, he's supposed to be in charge.
A lot of problem between him and the players. A lot of problem between him and some of the...
We'll talk about player indiscipline. Yeah. Rashida, let me get... Aziz, please hold on a bit. Let me get your view on this, because I have heard so much about player indiscipline. And even when you look at the Black Stars, I got to a point that we heard about some rumbling in... And that's why a lot of the time people are not confident to hand the team to a local coach, because they feel like, well, I earn more than him. What do you make of what Aziz has said about House of Oak and the rumblings behind the scenes?
Okay, Bridget, the truth is that he is with the team. I am not with the team.
But
I am
as an outsider.
Okay, I am an outsider who just does her job, talking about what I see from the outside. That's why we call it a team. Together, everyone achieves more. Is a collective effort from everyone. So if you're saying that there are internal wranglings, there are problems with the coach and the players, that's why you're called a manager. You're supposed to manage the affairs of the team. You're supposed to manage your players. First of all, you're supposed to manage yourself. You're supposed to manage your players, and you're supposed to manage your technical team. And then the top management will also manage, from the top. I understand. Not to hold brief for Hearts of Oak to say that whatever they did, whatever decision they took was wrong. I have a big question. I was talking to Aziz behind the scenes, and my big question is that will 5 matches out of 30 matches in a whole season be enough to judge a coach on his competence as to whether he can lead the team or not? And he was telling me behind the scenes that it's not about having lost 3 matches on the trot. Out of 5 matches, you've won one.
Like you just stated.
You've won 1, you've drawn 1, and then you've lost all 3.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Okay, but then I want to ask Aziz again. If CK is or he was the problem at Hartlepool, he wasn't a good manager, will his absence necessarily put Hartlepool where they want to be this season? They say they want nothing more than to the ultimate. They want to win the league trophy. So will CK's absence and probably a new manager, I know they're talking to J.E. Sapon, they're talking to Coach Duncan, they're talking to, I hear the latest thing I heard was Max Okunedo. I'm not sure how true that is.
I've heard of J.E. Sapon and then David Duncan.
Okay. So will they be the men to do the trick for Hartlepool? Will they be the men who would have the magic wand? 25 matches more to go.
All right.
To see.
Oh, hold on. Karine, I don't know whether you follow our local league and Hartlepool. I mean, you must have heard about our Hartlepool.
Yeah.
And have you heard about the issue with the coach?
I have, but I mean, let me just clear myself. Obviously, my 2 other guests here are really, really on top of this whole issue. But I mean...
No, but it's always important to get the view of someone who's not necessarily an expert. But
one thing I can say is, he was telling me how old Hartlepool is.
101.
101. And you said they've been having issues way back. So why then will we blame it on CK Akono? If Hart is 101 and you've forever had issues, don't blame it on just one single man. It is a team thing. You lot should just try and, work collectively, as she said, and I think something better will come out of it. But just don't blame the man.
You see,
before Aziz comes in.
Aziz, just hold on to your thoughts. We went out there to find out from people, Vox Pop, just to hear what people make of the whole dismissal and whether they think it's in the right direction, and that will move the team to the next level where they want to be, perhaps win the Premier League, because they are sitting at 13th on the table right now. So let's go and hear what people had to say about it.
We all know he's a good man. So what they just went about doing, they should at least make people know that this is the reason why. But the reason they're giving actually doesn't mean something very tangible to me.
It's not the right decision for management to succeed. They should give him some time. I think he will do well.
It's a game. You can lose, you can win. They have taken a bad decision. It's not good.
Everything is a gradual process. So at least they should have given him a little time for him to settle. The league had just started. I think they should have actually exercised patience for him. He's a good coach.
There are certain elements in the team that are causing all these sort of problems. They don't seem to see their way through. When they seem to see what the problems are, I think House of Folk will go forward. CK is a good person.
What they should have done was to give the young man the chance to prove himself, at least for the season. It's unfortunate that they have sacked the man, but it's part of the job. You are hired and you are fired. So, the future is better for him.
A number of them are actually against it. They're like, well, give the young man a chance. That's what the last person said. Give the young man a chance, at least for the season. You think it's too big a risk, Aziz?
Of course, in football, it's better to be early, to say it early than late. Because in football, let's turn the league around, if you have only 5 matches to go and you are in 13th position, probably there's no way you go to relegation. And a House of Folk, and believe me, there's a big club in Argentina, Boca Juniors. Like joke, they are first division or second division now. You understand? So it's very, very serious, and it's very, very serious the way things is going. And let me tell you, people get it wrong.
How? When you say people get it wrong?
Of course. People get it wrong. We believe, we are not questioning the technicality of CK Akuno.
Yes, but beyond that, we're talking about even the players, the quality of players. So,
Bridget,
of course we have quality of players.
You want to go with names?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing any names. Hold on.
Bridget,
Rashida, make your contribution.
Bridget, I know from some sources, that before the season started, CK Akuno requested for 7 players. I'm not on top of all the players he requested for, but I know he asked for Latif Salifu. He asked for. I will just get you the names as and when they come. But I mean, he asked for about 7 players.
Yeah.
He did not even get one.
I think you know those players.
I know those players.
And who are they?
He asked about Latif Salifu. He asked of Godfred Saka.
Exactly.
He asked about one Chelsea striker. And let me tell you something. Latif Salif, but then the CEO, Mr. Fred Kinson. Listen, Rashida, let me justify. You see, you know, no, Rashida.
You know what I'll do? Yeah. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, I'm sure by the time we come back, 10 minutes would have come down a little bit. So we're taking our very first break on the Diva show. We'll be right back to delve more into it and look at, well, the possible replacement for CK Akono. And there's a Juju man who is claiming that he is responsible for the woes of Hearts of Oak. Owe him 30 million. We'll be back.